Welcome back to Court of Cowls, issue 24. We're going to be talking about some fun stuff this issue. But first, as always, I'm Chris. I'm joined by
Cody,
August,
Mike,
and let's start this off right by saying,
court is in session.
woo! So, we were sitting around talking before we started recording about what to talk about. Mm-hmm. We decided to talk about movies this time.
Yeah.
Most importantly, Guardians of the Galaxy 2 just came out. We all went and saw it last week. Was it last week?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was
Came out last Thursday night.
We
Yeah,
saw
Thursday.
Yeah, I can't remember. So we're just going to kind of do a mostly spoiler-free review. We'll try to keep it clean for those of you that haven't seen it yet. I guess first off, just first thoughts. What did we think of the movie? Kind of just put it out there to the crowd.
It's kind of funny that you said that keeping it clean, because there were a bunch of like dirty like teenager jokes in it.
Yes.
Like it was very like, I'm kind of liking this whole like teenager friendly kind of thing. Like it's usually just like child friendly, but now it's kind of, especially there kind of near the end.
Yeah.
There's a certain character, that we get to see kind of angsty.
A little bit, a little angry.
And it's already sold toys,
Yeah. Somebody doesn't respect spoiler warning, so they just put it in the group message. I was like, not everybody's seen it yet.
Yeah.
Come on now. You know who you are. Hang your head in shame. The comedy was definitely ramped up in this movie. It was
absolutely. It was a slapstick movie.
Yeah, it was really close to being slapstick. Like I don't know. I'm of two minds about it. It was funny. I laughed a lot.
Yep.
But I felt like it was kind of a dig at my favorite movie for being so serious. Like, look, we can be super funny, and we're gonna do great. You can be serious, and you're gonna do bad. So.
Yeah, I have made that argument since I saw the movie, is that Batman and Superman can't unite over having Martha as their mom's name. Mm-hmm. That's goofy and stupid, but Hasselhoff is just so acceptable.
Yeah.
Like, what's that?
I never really thought of it that way, but now that you've brought that up, I'm filled with rage and sadness. Way to bring the room down. Thanks for that. August, what did you think?
I'm kind of in the same boat as you. I did think the movie was funny, but I felt like the first half, like they tried to do everything that people liked about the first Guardians, and they kept like joking around without developing any of the story. And then, you eventually had to rush through to get through all this character development, all this story development. And that kind of took me out of it, especially the opening sequence, really. They spent way too much time with, I guess, fan service, right?
For sure.
I kind of wanted to see him fight the big tentacle monster,
Yeah, it just, a certain character that everybody liked from the first one, basically danced around for a good 10 minutes during the opening sequence.
It was adorable.
As a big rainbow spewing monster as they were fighting it. And I think that really took me out of it, because it felt like, they're trying to push all this stuff people liked about the first one.
No, for sure.
And I think that took me out of it, So, I don't know.
Yeah, I'll just say real quick, like, I really enjoyed the movie. Like, I had a lot of fun with it. It was not what I was expecting. It was kind of like just a slapstick version of a superhero movie. Like, they didn't even really have to try. Like, I think I said this at the movie, though, one thing I really don't like is the CGI washing, where I just kind of feel like there's maybe like 3 actors in the movie and the rest is just them standing in a green room, and really they're just doing exactly what we're doing now. They're just sitting in chairs and making facial expressions, it feels like.
But getting paid much better than we are.
Very much so. Which, getting paid 50 cents is
more than we're getting paid.
More than we're getting paid right now.
What are you talking about? I get paid every week for this. No, and I guess my biggest problem, and I apologize if this comes across as a spoiler, but the movie almost felt pointless.
Yep, that's exactly what I was
Yeah.
going to say, was that it was mostly just a fan service of, oh, you really liked this in the first one, so we're just going to make a movie just around that. There's not really going to be a story until the very end of it, and even then, like, what they did with the final act of it didn't even feel like it really justified it being a movie. It was just like, oh, hey, here's fart jokes, and here's your Groot, everybody laugh and adore this, and here's Drax making pointless, like, he doesn't get metaphors still, ha ha ha, like, he's very upfront and blunt, like, there's still that stuff, but there's still nothing, like, going on, really. Woo, you know.
I love, like, going for, like, a little bit of a character breakdown. Like, I love Drax, like, how funny he was, but in retrospect, he's kind of a screw up. Like, he doesn't really do anything or, like, add to the group. So I was kind of like, man, that's kind of a waste of a good character. And, like, he kind of has his own comic book run. So, like, why do I care?
Well, I felt
You
like
know?
in the first movie, like when he was, that can't go over my head. I would jump up and catch it. Like, it was so flat that it worked really well, and it made him unintentionally funny.
Yeah.
Because he was so straight laced.
And now they tried to force that comedy with him, like...
And, like, he tried to make some jokes, and, like, he just kind of came across mean at points.
Mm-hmm.
Not so purpose-driven.
Yeah.
Because, the whole point of Drax is, kill Thanos. That is his existence, is to get revenge on Thanos.
Yeah.
And he just seemed more concerned with,
cracking jokes,
laughing at everybody for everything that they did.
Yeah.
I mean, he had some funny moments, but they just were kind of
But there were some really cool ideas in it, I thought. Like, honestly, it was like the Star Trek movie I always wanted.
Yeah, okay, that's a point I wanted to bring up, where the first one felt like the best Star Wars movie ever made that's not Star Wars. This one, to me, felt like a solid Star Trek movie from, the original series, not the reboot, right? And that's
like
something...
just a bunch of teenagers in space kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can
but
buy
yeah,
that.
I had a lot of fun with it in that aspect, and honestly, just from a more family aspect, like there were several genuine parts. Little fun fact about me and my family: my mom's a Trekkie.
Yeah.
So, like, honestly, I saw that whole movie and I was like, man, she would absolutely adore this, because it felt like a Star Trek movie, and there were like genuine parts with that I thought were just utterly badass, like were just really, really cool, and I can't really go into it, very much, but when you get when the main villain shows up and kind of gives his basically gives his monologue of what his actual intentions are, and when Star-Lord kind of realizes this, that part, like, got me. Like, I kind of got chills on that.
Yeah.
And I was just kind of like, it was stuff like that growing up with my brother. I was just like, dude, I kind of want to show just this part to my brother, because that was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And there's a certain part in the woods with Rocket, and I wanted a video game just of that. Like, I thought that was awesome.
Yeah, that was very cool, and seeing a little bit more of Rocket than just making quips.
Yeah, just holding his own and what he can do.
That was really cool. But then you go back to him just being like angry for
jerk.
no reason, and like...
Yeah, I didn't really get, like, I figured we'd get some kind of, like, in-depth look at why Rocket is so angry. And you kind of do.
And
they kind of just say it's his personality. But
yeah. The first movie ended off like they butted heads and everything like that, and then by the end of the first movie they were like, we're a team now, and then like it's like, okay, they've formed their team now, like they're good to go, and then this one starts off and Rocket's being a butthead and like doing stuff and I can do this better than you and blah blah blah, and it's like basically rehashing the first movie again almost, with their like butting heads and everything, and it just it was still entertaining. It was super funny to watch, but it felt like it didn't need, like, with what happened in the movie, it could have not been released and nothing would have changed. Like anything coming in the future, really.
There is one thing, and you got to keep it spoiler free, but there is kind of a character that once he drops, you kind of, like, if you're a Marvel fan, you get the connection to Thanos.
Yeah.
You know.
But that's
Right,
still
like-
so far away from even being relevant.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
But I mean, like it's just kind of like finally being like, okay, well, I thought this person was supposed to be around way before we got to Thanos.
Yeah.
And this is kind of, like really the whole movie, it was kind of like Suicide Squad. Like the whole movie was really just about 12 minutes, you know.
Yeah, there you go.
And was really its importance to the chronology.
You're right.
Yeah, chronology.
Chronology was really just about 12 minutes, and the rest was just filler. It was just the introduction of this one character, or this one character plot. And yeah, they did that. Dude, I'm a early 90s kid, so Kurt Russell just killed it in this.
Yeah.
I loved him. He was basically just his character from Sky High. you know?
Fair enough.
I really liked it. There were two parts in particular that I think I was sitting next to Chris, and I had to just look over, and I was like, all right, dude, look, you know I'm a hokey and corny guy, but that was too hokey and corny for me.
Yep, I know exactly what you're thinking of.
Yeah.
Like,
And I like rolled my eyes, and it like you were saying, August, like it just completely brought me out of it. And then, you know, kind of later near the end, like there was this real big like just fan service part that I was just like, okay.
well, and
You know.
the thing that you're talking about, I was like, this has to be like a joke. Like this
Yeah.
can't really be a serious scene. Like
Yeah.
there's just no way.
Yeah.
But I mean, they played it straight, and I was like, is this really happening? Like,
Yeah.
I cannot believe that. But I will say this: the only cool thing that they did was there are 5 post-credit scenes, by the way, 5 of them. Like we're taking it a little too far, in my opinion. Like
2 of them were actually worth it. The others were just kind of.
We're just fun. Yeah.
yeah,
It was like, hey, we have like 5 minutes of stuff that we still shot. Yeah, we'll just throw it in the
Yeah,
post credit
we'll
scenes.
call
We'll
that,
just
yeah.
we'll call it a blooper thing for our stuff. And
Yeah. So there was the one that I think you guys probably know what I'm talking about. The conversation that they were having in
Mhm.
space, and that was really cool.
Yeah.
And needing a ride.
Yeah.
That was really neat. That kind of confirmed some stuff that people had wished for a while,
Mm-hmm.
and then seeing whom that person's talking to was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But it felt kind of wasted because of the importance that character could bring, but didn't. And it just, I don't know. It was a fun movie, but that was it, in my opinion. And I mean, I guess, look, at the end of the day, that's what a movie's supposed to be. Fun.
I had a blast with it, and I'll probably see it again and again, and it'll probably end up being like the funniest movie, honestly, that I've seen in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
You know, because it was genuinely like gut busting hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and there were parts that I wasn't just laughing to follow the crowd, like you know, those laughs you have that you have to work for when you're by yourself, like you wouldn't actually laugh out loud at.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's those ones that like really get a hold of you, and like that movie is full of them for me.
Yeah.
Like that, I thought it was hysterical, but like I didn't. But as far as like an overall just awesome movie, I don't know.
You know, and something I don't understand, a lot of reviews are building this movie up for one thing, that it developed the characters, and I don't see it.
Yeah.
I mean, they spent 12 minutes developing these characters, and like there was a sacrifice that was supposed to be really, really big.
Yeah.
And I felt nothing.
Yeah.
There was a similar one that happened in the first one. I felt more attached to that one, even though, you
Yeah.
know, they like kind of made it okay.
Mm.
Yeah.
But, you know, this one that happens, I felt nothing about it because they literally just forced this character development out of nowhere
Mm-hmm.
and then expected you to be attached to it. Even though I really like the character, I really like the actor.
Mm-hmm.
But it just, like, did nothing for me. So I'm just not understanding where people are oohing and ahhing over the fact that, you know, this built a lot of character development to Guardians, and to me it just didn't.
I feel you there. I felt a little something just because I like that actor so much. So when that sacrifice happened, it wasn't like, oh, the character development. No, it was like, no, he's a really good person. Why can't he be in the third one now? Like, no. But it wasn't like full blown like character development. Like if I had gone into that movie not knowing who that actor was, I wouldn't have felt anything. But like the fact that it's like, oh, I've seen like 4 of his movies, and he's just like hilarious or like super awesome in all of those movies, and now he died in this one. It's like, oh man, that stinks. Like he's not going to be around in the universe anymore.
Well, and there's one thing that's always going to play to me is again in the main bad guy's manifesto, like when he's giving his big like bad guy speech, he drops something that like, dude, it made my stomach sink. Like right there, I was invested for maybe just a little bit, but I was like, oh, like it was, you could hear the hush go over the crowd. You could hear everyone gasping for air, like,
yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
And I mean, we had already found out what the bad guy. He just says something during the manifesto that you're just like, whoa.
Yeah.
You know, but there's going to be one thing, and this is a personal preference, that this Marvel movie is probably going to be my favorite of all of them right now. For one reason, is because it has one thing that the other movies don't have, and that's freaking Rocky. You know, Stallone is in it.
That's true.
Yeah,
he is.
he is.
You know, and oh man, when I saw him show, like when it's saying all the names in the prologue, and it just says Sylvester Stallone, I was like, Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah.
And he just shows up as like the leader of the Ravagers, and it's just, oh my! I was like, yes. It was like
I remember seeing something that like, oh, like he's cast in this movie just like Miley Cyrus was in it and everything or whatever, and what?
Was Miley Cyrus in that?
She was on his team or whatever. She was one of the like, she was just like a voice for like one of the things. Like she wasn't like there.
Oh, she
was
wasn't just back there like being a wrecking ball.
Yeah, she wasn't being a wrecking ball or anything like that. She was just a voice
Really?
for a voiceover.
Well,
for
you
one of
can't
them
just
or
have
whatever.
Miley Cyrus in the background just being like,
Yeah.
you know.
But yeah, I completely and totally forgot Stallone was in it. And whenever he showed up, I was like, oh crap, like that's right. Like I forgot. Like months ago, they were like, oh, he's, you know, like he's on this movie and everything like that, and they're pulling out like this and Hasselhoff and stuff like that, and Kurt Russell. And it's like, what's going on? Like, what are they all gonna do in this movie? And
I'm sorry, but I still felt like his appearance was wasted.
Yeah.
Like, I felt
Stallone's?
like, I felt like
Yeah.
they potentially could have set it up for something, but they're not going to. Not with how much money there is and the movies that we have right now.
Yeah.
It's I mean, it was cool, and if you were
we
a fan of
may
Guardian,
get them as like a cameo in like the next one or whatever. Like, you'd be
He's
like,
gonna
oh
be,
hey,
like, driving
here's-
a ship or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like, hey, Team A, oh gosh, no, like we're under heavy fire, and then they're just gonna come by and be like, poof, all right, guys, see you later, and then like go away.
I have no clue what that character's name is. I'll be completely honest, but I know that
It's Rocky.
Yeah, well, exactly.
That's his
That's what I was
name.
gonna say. Is Yondu went to a bar, and the leader of the Ravagers is Stallone. So I'm gonna be, if I read a Guardians of the Galaxy book, I'd be looking for a part where Yondu was talking to Stallone.
Yeah.
And no one else.
he does not resemble his comic book counterpart.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah.
But it was cool to see the original, some original characters. If you were a fan of Guardians before they were a movie, you will appreciate some of the people that you see.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Because I mean, I'm not going to be a hipster and be like, oh, I was such a big Guardians fan before, but I remember reading Guardians back in the early-ish 90s when
I was a wee little lad.
Vance Astro was the leader, and he had Cap Shield. That's like why I was like, why does this dude have Cap Shield? And it's in the future and all this stuff.
Yeah, and Yondu was an original member too.
And I mean, he, once again, kind of resembles his movie counterpart, but they're both blue. There's an arrow involved, but so yeah, just like,
and his mohawk got spikier at one point. You know?
It did, and that
looked
was kind
a
of
little
cool.
bit more like Yondu. Yeah.
So it was. I mean, it got like, hey, I know who these are. Is that who I think it is? Oh, that totally is.
Yeah.
I recognize you, but I couldn't tell you your name by Mr. Diamond Guy. But
I had no clue.
that was
like Diamondback is what I'm gonna call him.
I just totally forgot the actor's name. It's Wally from Justice League and Lex from Smallville.
Clancy Brown. Oh no,
Michael Rosenbaum.
Yeah, that's
Really?
Yep.
Yeah.
He was the Diamond Guy that was with Blank.
That's crazy.
So, but yeah. So okay, 1 out of 10 grade. What would you give this movie?
That's hard. It's very, because if I'm looking at it as just like a straight comedy,
Okay.
I'd give it an 8.
Okay. As a comic film, what would you?
Yeah,
give it?
as a comic film, again, like most people, when I heard of Guardians of the Galaxy, that was the whole point, is that no one knew about him, because when Marvel hit it big, is with Iron Man, and nobody knew who Iron Man was. Everyone knew he was like second fiddle to Captain America.
Yeah.
And then he became Iron Man, which how we know him today. The way you say his name when I was a kid and the way you say his name now is two completely different characters.
Yep.
Where Batman and Superman and Wonder Woman have always been the same. Anyway.
Shots fired.
So yeah, like I had fun with the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie. Like honestly, it was pretty fun. And the second one was just hilarious, and I think the second one was better than the first. Just if we're just talking about, it looks like they were just going straight forward into pure humor. And then like all the like serious, it felt like an anime. Like all the serious stuff was like, it was serious but really wrapped in like cupcakes and like, and a lot of color and a lot of teenage jokes.
Yeah.
So as a comic book movie, I don't think it really worked.
Okay.
But it's very hard because as a Marvel comic book movie, it really works because it's out there and crazy and, you know, but as far as like canonically, it didn't really work. Because it really had nothing to do with anything except for, you know, parts near the end. So.
August.
Oh man. Honestly, a straight 6. I just don't know if I would ever see this movie again because I think the jokes are just every time I see it are just gonna diminish, you know. And I felt like they just tried to pull too much of what they thought people liked from the first one, and then just like amplified it.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the problem for me is it didn't do anything for me, and I think the story development, the character development suffered because of it. So that's kind of why I got to rate it so low. It's just
Okay. Mike.
If I had to rate it on a comic movie scale, I'd say 5. Comedy wise, 7. It's something that I'm not gonna go out and see multiple times in theaters, unless somebody's like, "Oh, hey man, like I bought tickets. What are you doing Saturday night?" Like, you know.
Yeah.
Then I'd go, but I wouldn't go out and spend money on it again or anything like that. But I'll definitely buy it when it comes out on Blu-ray, because I have every other movie, so it's going to be a part of the collection. It's going to be something that I'm like, oh man, I think I need a good buy. Okay, yeah, I guess I'll watch this one. But yeah, comic movie based wise, 5. I really think that they kind of, you know, with the success that the first one had, they kind of just gave James Gunn like, you know, oh, just do whatever, make it funny. Your movie's basically void fill for now until we can crank out Thor Ragnarok later this year and continue.
Which seems like kooky fun as well.
Yeah, but like we're seeing things like you know, the Planet Hulk armor and stuff like that. Like we're seeing all of that stuff. We're seeing characters that.
We'll get to that.
Yeah.
We'll
All right. Not to delve too much into that, but it's gonna continue the storyline. Like in after Age of Ultron and stuff like that in Civil War, it was like, do you know where Banner and Thor are? No. Like where are they? So now it's like, hey, here they are, and then it could easily tie back into Earth and continue there. But, you know, we had Thanos in the first one and everything like that showed, like, hey, here's Thanos. He's the reason, like, the Infinity Stone from the first Avengers movie and everything. This all ties in together. And this one was just, we're just going to dick around for 2 hours and have 30 minutes of a legitimate story, and the rest is just jokes.
Yeah.
So. Okay. And I guarantee that, like, had this had the DC, like, logo on it, that film critics would have just bashed it like crazy. Like, DC couldn't have made a movie like this, and they'd be like, "Oh, haha, it's so amazing." It would have been like, "It's too funny." Like,
they would have gotten bashed for trying to make a Marvel movie.
It needs to be a serious movie. Like, why would they do this?
Yeah.
It just.
It sounds like we're a bunch of bitter DC fans right now.
I'm not.
Just a smidgen.
August is a straight man here.
Okay,
he calls
cool,
it like he sees it.
Yeah.
He hates everything that he hates. He likes everything that he likes.
Right.
Look, would I give it a higher rating before BVS? Probably. Am I trying to be fair with it? I think so. I mean, I agree with you guys. As a straight comedy, I'm going to give it a 7. It was a funny movie. I laughed. If you take it out of the superhero setting and it had just been any other type of movie, it would have been a really funny comedy.
Yeah.
As a comic book movie with character development and supposed to, like, move the overall universe forward, I mean, it's a 3 or 4 at best. It did nothing for the overall universe. Like, if you pulled that out of existence, the path of the Marvel Universe doesn't change not one tiny bit, it feels like. So, and look, maybe there's something that happened that seemed insignificant that come later down the road will be like, oh my gosh, mind blown.
Say one of the after credit scenes, like they could have done so much with it, but it was just kind of like, oh, this is half a second thing during the movie that we see, and that's whenever I looked at you and I forgot their name, but like you saw them and you were like, holy crap, like I know that, like I know that's important right there, like who did I just see, like I know it's right there, and so I look at you and I was like, and then as the credits were rolling and they did the after credit scene, I was like, oh my god, okay, like what was that? I know I've seen them before, I know that they're super significant, like what, like why can't I say their name right now? And you told me and I was like, okay,
that was kind of the part that is supposed to like lock in with the rest of it and become like a complete like, you know, like, oh, and there's the connection to everything else, you know.
Yeah, and it just didn't really accomplish that in my opinion. That's just me. So look, see it if you're a Marvel fan, just to say you've seen it. If you're a huge Guardians fan and you loved every single thing about the first one, you'll probably really enjoy this because you get a lot more of the same. I just feel like they kind of like, oh, you thought that piece of cake was good? Well, like, here is the full cake. Eat it and love it. So,
and then you get diabetes.
Yeah. I gotta say, though, is that one thing that the movie did do for me is that it made me want to know a lot more about Yondu. Because in this movie, I thought he was an amazing character. Like, it made me really dig him. In the first one, I just thought he was just like a old man, you know, searching for a bounty. But this one, like, as far as any kind of, like, character development, I thought Yondu had it. And just, I always thought the, like, whistling with the arrow was just, there was something so badass about that.
Yeah, that is a super cool thing.
You know, and there were some really cool scenes, like, what the ideas they had in the CGI department were just great, you know? But
I don't know.
But I'm impressed by flashy lights.
Well, it just, it felt so out of character from how it was in the first movie, and some of the connections they tried to make were kind of non-existent in the first one, but I'm suddenly supposed to believe that there were these deep relationships under the surface that just happened to come out, but that's neither here nor there. Look, go see the movie, form your own opinion. If you think we're full of it, let us know on the Facebook page.
Yeah.
If you agree with us, let us know that too. So, we're not perfect, it's just our opinion. We hope you have your own, and don't just listen to what we say.
Yeah.
But now for things that you have to listen to, because we were 100% right on these. This is a big year for movies. We were talking about this. There's only 1 month that I can't say 100% for sure that we will be seeing a movie. And even I imagine we'll see something that month. But I can't remember in the past decade when I've been able to look at a calendar and be like, I'll see a movie that month, like from now until January.
Yeah.
My Stubbs car is going to get a workout.
Oh yeah, dude. I'll be honest. Like, there's a lot of movies that aren't even comic book related that I've seen trailers for that are out right now.
Yeah.
That, like, a part of me wants to just pick a couple days to, like, schedule myself off and just go have a soul searching personal day and just go there in the morning and just see all these movies. Just for the sake of seeing them, you know. There's so much good stuff out. Not all of it has capes and cows in it, believe it or not.
But a lot of it does.
Yeah.
All right, let's not get ahead of ourselves here. No, like the King Arthur movie, you know, that's one I totally kind of might go see in, like, the cheap theater here in town. Like, I don't need to go to the Warren and spend $20 on a ticket.
Say that showed, I think that was, like, the first big trailer when we saw Guardians that I first saw it, and I was like, this seems like medieval Camelot thing, like, what's going on? And then it was King Arthur, and I was like, that looked pretty
And Jude Law is just looking dope as heck in it. And
yeah, he's an actor.
The main character from, I think, like, Vikings or something like that, Arthur or something.
Charlie,
the dude from Sons of Anarchy or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can understand the mix-up, though. They look identical.
Yeah.
Yeah. the guy that will never play Green Arrow, no matter how much we beg for it, because he doesn't want to do comic book movies. So, but Cody, I feel like there's probably a movie that you're looking forward to coming out pretty soon.
Yes, one thing you mentioned Guardians of the Galaxy trailers. There was a bunch of trailers that we saw in our local theater, and they were just extensions of trailers that we've already seen. And one of them I'll start simple with Alien Covenant. Like, not a gigantic Alien fan, but like any kind of like movie mythos that's been going on since I was a kid. Like I grew up with it in a way, so I kind of want to see like how it pans out. Like it could be something I don't even care about, and but be like, well, hey, it's been around as long as I have, so
I got 2 decades of investment here. I got to see where the story goes.
Yeah, like I'll be completely honest. I haven't even. There's some Alien movies I haven't even seen all the way through. The first Alien movie, confession time, is weird thing to say, but I've never seen that movie with the volume up.
All right.
Fair enough. Very first time I watched that movie, like I got really into it because sci-fi and because it is a sci-fi movie and then it's a horror movie.
Fair enough.
Sonia. And
shots fired.
Yeah. But me and her have had long debates about this, and yeah, she makes a very, very good point. And really, I call it a sci-fi movie first for not because she's made amazing points, but really just to be a butthole. Okay. Like just because I'm a guy and I'm bullheaded about it.
That's what we do.
But no, saw the first movie, man, and watched it with a friend on the phone with it on mute, just so I could go to school the next day and be like, "Oh yeah, I watched Alien. That's scary." And there's that one part where he's like inside the air duct and turns around and the alien just like looks like give Scrotor a hug. And I jumped out of my skin with it on mute. I was just like and the girl I was talking to, I was no longer talking to her. She was talking to another girl that just screamed like one. And second movie, come on. Game over, man.
Yeah.
I mean, that was just a straightforward action movie, so I can do that.
It was amazing.
Yeah, it certainly was.
I saw the third one, like, middle of the night, just HBO was on, back when it was Channel 14.
Very nice.
And, yeah, and then, I guess I have seen all of them then. Resurrection. Yeah. Resurrection I've seen the most out of all of them.
Really? That's the one?
Yeah, that's the one. It's the most TV acceptable.
I would say, Resurrection's been on TV a lot, because I want to say the first time I saw Resurrection was probably on TV on, like, AMC or, like, Sci-Fi or something like that just, like, 8 o'clock Tuesday night, we're showing Resurrection and stuff like that.
Yeah. Now, was Prometheus, that was supposed to be loosely tied into the aliens, or is it
Well, here's the thing, is that at the beginning of Alien, when they first find the ship, they find the space jockey.
Yeah.
And it's just a gigantic alien that had its chest ripped open from a chest burster. And that's really all the backstory you got. Well, Prometheus was supposed to be about the space jockeys, but it, didn't really do a great job. Yeah. CGI old man and whatnot.
Yeah, but I mean, it's still set in the same universe, the Weyland
Corporation. Weyland Corporation.
And then, but they have made it to where this Covenant ties directly into Prometheus, which ties directly into everything.
Yeah.
Because, and this has been in all the previews, so I'm not going to call this a spoiler. If it is, I greatly apologize. But Michael Fassbender, his droid, and I can't remember what its name is, David or Billy?
David. I'm pretty sure it's David.
He's, like, on the planet that the new crew goes to.
Oh,
so that's how it, like, ties together.
Nice.
So I only know that because they play the video 17 times a day at my job. And that's how I hear about it. So, but this one looks like it's going to be more of a straightforward alien movie where Prometheus was just weird and the plane flying over.
If you didn't know it was tied into Alien at all,
cave right now.
Yeah.
If you didn't know Prometheus tied into Alien at all, it was something that like kind of shocked you. But knowing like, oh hey, like I know what this is, and then you spend 90% of the movie like, all right, where's Alien? Come on, this stuff's supposed to be going on, and then
it's not until like the end of the movie, and it's not even reminiscent of.
I
Yeah.
mean, it was Alien-esque. It was like, like caveman version of Alien versus...
Well, yeah, I mean, it's supposed to take on the the form of like whatever its host was.
Yeah.
Its symbiotic host. Right?
We got the doggy alien from Alien 3.
Which was supposed to originally be a cow. So, but that movie was a train wreck of production.
Yeah, it was.
You can. Another fun fact is if you buy like the trilogy that's out right now, there's like hours upon hours of like behind the scenes stuff of all of it. The guy who created Aliens 3, like the guy who, like, basically they played hot potato with the directors, you know, and basically the last person to have Alien 3 franchise refused to be on the Blu-ray. He wanted nothing to do with it. So you can watch all this stuff on Aliens 1 and 2, or Alien and Aliens, but there's nothing on 3.
Alright, good to know.
But no, dude, I'm really excited about this. It seems like a more straightforward Alien movie. It seems a little bit more like Aliens, like it's scary, but it seems like more of an action movie, and the alien is pretty prominent in the trailers, so but yeah, I'm excited about it.
Me too.
The other movie we got to see a trailer for is Spider-Man Homecoming, and I gotta say that I'm trying to like restrain myself a little bit here, so I'm not just like talking for like the next 45 minutes about it, but anytime there's a Spider-Man movie, I kind of just get, like, a certain amount of hype, and then just kind of, like, not pay attention to it, and I'm like, yeah, it's a Spider-Man movie, so it's going to be good. Because that's, like, it's a Batman movie. I don't need to watch anything on it.
Yeah.
Like, just give it here,
Yeah. You had me sold at Spider-Man, basically.
Yeah, and, like, I'm not one to, like, look into it and want to see all the little bitty idiosyncrasies on it. I just no, it's Spider-Man. That's all I need to know.
Yeah.
And this trailer is completely different from the TV spot. It really tells like a completely different story than the first trailer did. Like, and this real character development of kind of like Thor's Hammer-esque, where Spider-Man has the suit, and then Tony takes it away because he ends up screwing up all this stuff and kind of using the suit for like not its real purposes, so he has to kind of earn the suit, and so he's basically just trying to impress Tony Stark. Whew, that's really like Civil War-esque Spider-Man, where he's like doing everything that Tony told him to.
Yeah.
And until his ultimate downfall with Tony, which I don't know if we're gonna get into, but he looks at Tony as this like amazing person, but if we're just sticking with let's say the comics don't exist in the movies, we all know that Tony's not really that great of a guy.
That's pretty accurate with comics as well.
Yeah, well, yeah, he's a drunk, and yeah.
Yeah.
And
It's just an AI, but that's another story for another day. No, the only problems I have with it is the whole like you start up here. My hand's really high up for the people that can't see this, which is everybody listening.
Whoa.
And then you fall down low, and you have to like earn your way back up, which was Thor, which was Batman Begins, which was Man of Steel.
It's very cookie cutter.
Yeah, but that's okay. And I'm really hoping that we've seen all the Tony stuff. That is all shown in the trailers is a way to be like, Tony Stark, Robert Downey Jr.'s in this, you should come see it, it's going to be good.
He's the boss that he's trying to impress through the whole movie.
I just don't want it to be like all about Tony. Like, I don't want it to be Iron Man 3.5 or 4, whatever. So I just want it to
Iron Man starring Spider-Man.
Exactly. I want it to be Tom Holland. I want to see what he can do. I want him to be funny. I want him to, which the trailers have shown it that way.
Dude, he's killing it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it kind of plays out and kind of shows you where certain things take place in the movie. And that big scene that it shows him like the boat split in half and him like trying to hold it together, which is Spider-Man 2 with the Tobey Maguire.
Yeah, the train thing.
Yeah, exactly.
No, 3 was the train.
Was it the? Yeah, you're right.
That was the train wreck, but the train
the actual
scene.
the train scene.
I got confused.
Yeah, the train scene.
I mean, to be fair, they were all 3 kind of train wrecks, but
yeah, the second, well, that's a story for another day. But I would watch that entire 2-hour snooze fest for one reason, and that was like the real character development of him, like holding the train and then spelling it out for the audience and being like, hey, he didn't leave us. Like he did everything and he wouldn't abandon us. And so, like, seeing that kind of is reminiscent of, like, kind of, like, the only part that was kind of, kind of good. Like, hey, you remember this? And it looks so freaking epic and so, like, final act of the movie. That's in the first act.
Yeah.
that's just something that happens like pretty early on. So it makes me think like if that's what's going on, then what's the rest of the movie like? And you know, it kind of goes without saying, with Michael Keaton being in it and the character that he is, like I want to bow down to him. And this is as close as I am ever going to get to a Spider-Man versus Batman movie. You know, oh man, does he look awesome?
Yeah. Michael Keaton still going after all these years.
Mm-hmm.
So those were Cody's
those are mine.
excitement. August, what are you excited for?
You know, for the first time ever, and I'm probably gonna eat poo on this because this franchise has yet to do anything for me.
Can you get the August puddles?
Yep.
That would have been funnier if I could have nailed it right.
I got you though.
Yeah.
But anyways, no, this is the first time I'm excited about a Thor movie, Thor Ragnarok. You know,
Yeah.
It looks exciting. It looks fun. It looks different from the other ones. It kind of looks like there's actual consequences for Thor. You know,
Yeah.
Crap. Why am I blanking? But you know, I think Hela looks great.
Mm-hmm.
The villain of it. Seeing. I'm gonna butcher this name so hard. Mjolnir.
Mjolnir.
Stupid hammer.
Mjolnir.
Like
Meow.
just seeing that shatter and the
catching
blowback
the
from
hammer.
it
Yeah.
is so like powerful. You know, just bam. You know, and you know, there's some things I'm not excited about with the trailer that, you know, they went with the classic rock song to kind of feel like the Guardians trailer.
Look,
I like the song.
It
took
really
3
fits.
movies to get Immigrant Song in a Thor movie. It is about time.
Yeah.
There is not a... It is as close as Iron Man for Black Sabbath is for Iron Man. Look, you pissed off Thor.
Thor is here.
It's perfect, guys.
Here's the thing. August, we have talked about this on a previous podcast, is that using old school songs in new age trailers, like just a revamped version, and then like putting that song on a soundtrack, but it's by Imagine Dragons or something like that. That really bugs me, and I'm so sick of that. That's become
That really hurt me in Suicide Squad whenever we got
Queen.
Queen,
Yeah,
and it was like, all right, and then we bought the soundtrack, and it was like, and this is not Queen.
But my problem isn't with the
Fantastic.
song itself; it's just how the trailer is cut to it.
Yeah,
Feels
it's a cliche now.
Feels like Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
I'm not going to disagree with you.
Yeah.
I'm giving it a pass, no matter how wrong it might be.
No, I was going to say, we've talked about that before, but they got me on this one just because Immigrant Song is one of my all-time favorite songs, period.
Yeah, no.
You know, but...
I'm saying the song choice isn't wrong, you know?
I mean,
I'm
if
just
they showed a
saying,
black screen with Immigrant Song, I would have been like, that was genius!
I'm just saying the way it's cut and colored and, like, the transitions in it feels like Guardians.
Yeah.
It kind of did, yeah.
It's got this, like, 80s techno-color, like...
Yeah,
I
we
don't
talked
understand
about
where
that.
that's coming from. Like, it's cool looking, but I don't see how it fits into what's going on.
Yeah, because it's, like, trying to sneak on that success of Awesome Mix, you know, Volume 1 and 2. Yeah. It's trying to get off, you know, it's another thing people liked about that. But, no, anyways, I think, you know, the kind of silliness between Thor and Hulk, it's kind of fun because, you know, we've already seen that kind of, you know, kind of poke at each other in the Avengers movies between those two. And, you know, it's going to be cool to see them go at it again, you know?
And I love that it's a meme now to be like, you know, when you found your best friend, when you look at him the same way Thor looks at the Hulk.
Yeah.
And he's like, I know him from work. Like,
We're
I thought that was
friends
adorable.
from work. And
But when he showed like the title screen and like the font they're using, I looked over at you and I was like, this.
the 80s.
Yeah.
In the back? Yeah.
Didn't we play this game on like Windows 95?
Yeah.
I will say one thing they did cool is the helmet that he's wearing.
Yes.
Like we
That was
finally got kind of the classic looking Thor helmet done in a way that's not like, because let's be honest, Thor's original look is really dumb. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Yeah.
it is.
I mean
It's
the
a Norse god.
feather helmet
Yeah.
and then, you know, like the weird like bands with no shirt, like that's kind of hideous. But it was cool to finally see the helmet in
Jumping
some
around.
iteration.
Yeah, and it kind of makes sense in a way. Like,
Well, like a gladiator, you're gonna
Yeah.
have a helmet, so
Yeah.
it kind of works. So,
And it is kind of funny that like I was so excited to be. This is gonna honestly just be hypocritical of me, and I'll just say it first. In Guardians, when Stallone showed up, I was really stoked. But in Thor, I was kind of like, why the hell is Jeff Goldblum here? Like a part of me was like, is he making a comeback too?
He certainly is.
Yeah,
Because he's coming in Jurassic World too.
Yeah.
Which I'm okay with, because, I mean, you had Stallone and everything like that, and I,
Mhm.
being in the 90s and stuff, I grew up watching Jurassic Park like religion, so I thought Jeff Goldblum was amazing, and then
Yeah.
Earth Girls Are Easy and everything like that with
Yeah.
Jim Carrey, like, that's what I watched, like, so
Yeah.
everyone's, crapping on Jeff Goldblum, like,
Yeah.
his mannerisms and stuff like that, I think he's great, so, they can say whatever, I'll say whatever, but the fact that he's making a comeback now too is awesome. Like watching The League, whenever I was watching that first time, and he pops up as Ruxin's dad, I was like, what? Like, oh, thank God, you're still doing work. Like, this is amazing. Like, never expected it, and he just shows up, and it's like, yes, all right.
Yep.
no, and I think the other thing I'm really liking about is the art direction for Thor. I just think there's something about the way it's color, outside of my gripes that it looks too much like Guardians. I just think some of the set pieces in the trailer just look fantastic.
Yeah.
So,
It's a very bright movie,
yeah.
which I think
Very
is
much
a good, like, kind of difference from the second one. I mean, it was the
The
Dark
sec- yeah, I
World,
was
so
gonna say, the second
everything was,
one
like,
was-
super dark, and, Chris Elliston, or whatever his name was, the Ninth Doctor, was just...
No, say,
Yeah, so,
Well, I spotted a giant sword, so I'm really stoked about it
you
too.
like a good old giant sword.
Yeah, I do.
Speaking of swords and sword-like objects, August, what other movies are you looking forward to? Segway!
I mean,
you get one segue point.
is it the Star Trek movie?
The new Star Trek.
Star Trek
I thought it was a new Galaxy
with a
Quest.
strong A.
No.
Babylonian 5.
If you don't know yet,
The last GD.
we're the last Jitty.
Less Jetty.
No,
If you don't know about it, Patrick, get out from under your rock and welcome to the real world.
yeah.
Revenge of the Campfire.
I wasn't so hot on Rogue One, but that's okay because it's an offshoot, where this is continuing the story from 7.
Rogue One is when you're sitting down to a really nice dinner and you just have this amazing, like, plate of mashed potatoes. And they're like, well, you're too
Here's your
full.
appetizer. Here's
Yeah,
a salad.
You're too full for the big steak that's on the other end of the table. So here's a salad that has raisins in it. So you're like, well, I guess I'll eat it. That steak is coming. Rogue One is a salad with raisins. And you can quote me on that.
No, Rogue One is.
If we
such
ever
a
make
stinker.
Chris Quarter Cowls shirt, that's what it's gonna say.
Rogue One was a salad with raisins.
Yeah, it's it's exciting. I just don't know what you can say about it that anybody else has said about it. It's Star Wars. It's something to be excited about, especially when it's a mainline movie. When 7 was actually really good compared to what we got with the prequels. I'm kind of happy we've taken it out of the hands of George Lucas. So
Sorry, George. You made it, then you tried to kill it. It's time to let the mouse take over.
So, but I don't think I need to go very far on why I'm
made
excited
it, then
about
you
Star
hated it.
Wars.
Yeah, you did.
Episode 1 was a treasure.
Go sit in the rain, man. No, and really, the only reason we're bringing this up is just to fill out our December movie. So,
Yeah.
by the way, Aliens is in May, Spider-Man's in July,
Yeah.
Thor's in November, and Star Wars is in December. So there are 4 of the upcoming months that have movies that we will go see.
I'm pretty excited about Star Wars too.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh yeah, we'll be there opening night. We'll go to the Warren, assuming Denise doesn't kill us beforehand because her excitement just builds and she just shakes us
Yeah.
to death. Yeah. Hi, Denise.
I mean,
Never
I'm
listened to this,
sure.
but
I'm
hi.
sure that our excitement for Justice League that comes out in November, we will shake her to death first
That's
because
true.
that is coming out the month before. It just
Unless she just flat out strangles you to death for just some unknown reason.
that is very possible that could happen.
I assume it'll happen at some point. Someday you're gonna make her mad, and she's just gonna beat you to death with a lightsaber.
Probably.
And, I mean,
Like he took the trolling
that'll
too far.
be that'll be okay because I'll throw a battering at her.
yes. So Justice League, right?
Yep.
That's a thing.
It certainly is.
I feel like
I didn't know there was a
saying,
Justice League movie coming out.
Yeah, weird. I feel like saying we're excited about a Justice League movie is kind of redundant because if
Saying we
you're-
need air to breathe.
Yeah, if you're one of the 6 people that listens to this and you don't know we're DC fans, I don't know what to tell you at this point.
Getting a little
you
one-sided.
didn't realize we got 7 viewers now. This new person has no idea.
Hello, 7. We like DC a lot.
We'll talk to you some other time.
Yeah. Justice League's going to be amazing.
That it absolutely will be.
Thor, come on, dude.
That could
Thor.
be Captain Marvel, okay?
It could be.
Billy, are you out there?
Calm down.
No.
I thought I heard a Shazam right before that.
That was me farting. I'm sorry.
I honestly think Wonder Woman's gonna be a bigger tell if they've learned their lessons from BVS on how to make it more relatable without going over the top into the wrong direction, right?
There are no lessons to learn.
Oh, are you kidding
I'm just
me?
kidding.
Are you?
No, and
No, I'm
since
not gonna
somebody
get all by
just
it.
decided to step on one of my movies.
Well, we'll get back to it.
No, let's do it now.
Okay.
Wonder Woman comes out June 2nd, guys. And all early reports have been very positive, and this looks really good. I do agree with August that this is going to be the best tell if DC is moving in a more
Acceptable?
public opinion positive way. I might have phrased that very strangely, but I think Wonder Woman's going to do great.
A more palatable way?
Yeah, that's a great way to put it because we got BVS, which people didn't like and everything or whatever,
You know
but
who
it
didn't
was
like
very
Non-comic book fans.
exactly.
Fight me.
It was a very serious movie where you have Guardians that like everyone's praising, like I said.
I'm
that-
known for my giant poops.
Yeah,
Actual, yeah.
like actual quote from the
quote,
movie
yeah.
that and then we get a serious comic book movie and it's like, well, no, like you guys have to have fun with it. No, you don't. Like, read Rebirth, read the Infinite Crisis, like
Read
watch
Identity
people.
Crisis.
Yeah.
Well, there's a...
Read Identity Crisis and tell me it needs humor.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Tell me
like,
that story does not just
Well, here's the
pull
thing
your
is,
guts out.
this generation has created a good quote, or a good motto. It's, Marvel is what you read when you're a kid, DC is what you read when you grow up. And, like, a lot of people, like, I'm not saying BVS was perfect. You know, it's covered in flaws just like every movie is, you know. And it's got its main big flaws that were just kind of like, especially, like, the Martha thing, I got it. I'm an overanalyzer. But you kind of have to be an overanalyzer to get
like I
that.
said when I was watching it yesterday, I like kind of put 2 and 2 together there that like that was his dad's last word was Martha. Like it didn't really like dawn on me, you know. Yes, both of their parents are Martha, but
It
like
didn't dawn on him.
yeah.
God did the justice.
But
Look,
yeah, that happened, and I was like, okay, like yeah, that it just kind of like connected right there. And I was like, oh, that makes more sense that he's right there, and
Yeah.
the like with Superman's last breath before he's about to die is Martha, just like Thomas's last words were.
Yeah. It was a little too ambitious. I
Yeah.
thought.
No, it didn't hold your hand, and it didn't spell out A
Yeah.
to B, and people didn't want to think. And I'm sorry if you didn't like it. That's cool. I respect your opinion. I think that this went a little bit deeper. Batman, the entirety of Batman is built on wanting to stop what happened to him from happening to anybody else, and knowing that he is going to fail. So he made that promise. I will fight crime. I will fight evil until the day I die. So nothing like this happens.
Yeah.
And Jason dies, which they don't spell that out for you either, but you know what happens, and he loses his way. He turns into what he has fought against. He does take lives. He is more brutal than he needs to be. And in that moment, when he's about to kill Superman, and it's not because they're both named Martha, it's he realized what he was doing was wrong.
Yeah.
That he had become what he had swore that he would fight against this whole time.
Well, and he always thought that Superman, like through the whole movie, he's saying that he's a god, that he's not one of us.
Yeah.
Like that he doesn't know what it's like to feel pain, to have to try for what you are.
Mhm.
You know, because he has that whole monologue when he's fighting him. Is like, your parents probably told you that you're just the greatest
you're
thing
special
on earth.
and you're not special.
Yeah.
You're not a man.
And he's like, I had to figure out, this world only works when you make it. So it's basically like they do the rich kid and like the lower class kid meeting and like a different kind of role reversal.
Yeah.
And then I really feel like when he realized his mother's name was Martha, that humanized Superman. So like Batman had to face
Martha had
facts.
anything to do with it. I think he realized what he'd done wrong and realized that that Superman was more than just a potential threat.
Well, that's what I'm saying. He had to
more
face
than
the
just what
fact
he
that
could
this was someone's kid.
Yeah.
That he had a mom, just like Batman did.
Yeah. But we've gone over this. I'm sure we'll go over it again. I apologize for the rabbit hole we dropped down.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman, looking fantastic. Gal Gadot looks like Wonder Woman. Stepped right off the page, I think.
Yep.
The art direction, it looks wonderful.
Hey, I'm happy a DC film has color.
There you go. Portraits.
We were kind of talking about this when we were at work, that Gal Gadot, she is not a really well-known actress. I mean, now that she's Wonder Woman, it's definitely a thing, but I really couldn't tell you whenever she showed up in BVS, like, oh, yeah, that's,
That's chick from blank.
Yeah, that's Jim Carrey, that's, Stallone, like, people that are really well-known and have done AAA titles and stuff like that. But watching something on YouTube, realized that she was in the Fast and Furious series a little bit, stuff like that. But other than that, like, even then, like, I mean, I'm not a huge fan of the series.
I've seen the first two, and that was too many.
I saw that she was in it, and so now it's like, oh, there's Wonder Woman. So that's going to be the pinnacle that she is in anything else she is now that I see is like, oh, hey, it's got Wonder Woman in it. Like,
that's what you're going to say.
Yeah.
And see, like, the big thing with that really gives me Wonder Woman's vote is that no matter what your opinion is, good or bad, on BVS, everyone agrees on Wonder Woman.
Yeah, she was like this awesome part of the movie.
Yeah,
so.
like everyone watched it as like just Wonder Woman just killing it.
But I like the new Batgirl thing that's supposed to be going on and everything like that, where Joss Whedon was like, I don't want Scarlett Johansson to come in here and play it. Like, I want a no-name person, and I want that too. Like, if that's going to be the best fit and the person that looks most like Babs, then that's what I want. I don't want
Emma Stone.
Yeah, Emma Stone to I mean, she's gorgeous, and that would be amazing. And I just sit there and be like, eye candy, but I don't want that for my movie. I want Stone. I would want to see Babs, and I want to see her character develop through the movie and stuff like that. And that's what I feel like, since I have no connection to Gal Gadot, now that she's Wonder Woman, like, I can see her just as Wonder Woman for the movie
instead of Wonder Woman. That's just how you think of her now. So.
And the unfortunate part of that is when you're put in this situation, that is all people are going to ever see you as.
Yeah.
So as an actor who probably has had some big-ish roles, it's just going to be hard to break out. Like, if there's nothing to really compare you to when your biggest role is Wonder Woman, and you've played her in 5-6 different films, it's going to be hard to find good, meaningful work after that.
Even like with Affleck and stuff like that, when he had that interview that you were telling me about, and it was like his movie that he'd worked on, like his director or whatever, and it got pretty good reviews and everything, but all the interviewer was like, all right, that's cool, you've got your movie, now what about Batman? Which kind of sucks because
Fly By Night or
Live By Night.
Live By Night.
Yeah. So I mean,
and he didn't get to talk about.
Yeah, like he put his all into it and stuff, and I mean, The Accountant and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Like, all his movies look fantastic now. Like, he hit his low with Daredevil, and then like he's
Jersey Girl and Healy, and
he's slowly coming back now. And I still want to see The Accountant, and I want to see the Night movie and stuff like that. And
he did Gone Girl was actually pretty dang good.
Yeah.
I still need to see that.
So it sucks whenever you're in that scenario that he is Batman right now, and that's all people see him as Batman, which
comic fans are ravenous.
Yeah.
Right? But we will stand by you forever. Like, if you do us right, we will do you right.
Yeah.
I mean,
I always hated that argument of like, well, you saw what he did with Daredevil.
Yeah.
Which was like, there was a 10-year gap. Like, come on. Like, my first job, I worked at Wendy's.
Yeah.
Okay? If the job I'm at now, I've been promoted and I'm working on getting promoted again. And if I was, you know, looked at for a promotion and they were like, "Are you talking about the guys that gave that one lady a frozen French fry?"
Yeah.
The Wendy's guy? I'd be like, "Are you kidding me?"
Yeah.
You know, that was 10 years ago. You know.
Yep. People grow. They get better. They get worse.
Yeah.
Hey, it's not ever changing.
Saying it's not entirely his fault with that movie. It was in that time frame where we had things like Hulk and
Colin
Fantastic Four, and
Yeah.
it was
It was
just
him.
it was the
right?
Dark Ages before we got Iron Man that kind of sparked it
Before
off and
RDJ.
everything. Yeah.
Like,
Well, you know, you even look at Spider-Man at the time. That movie has not held up well.
Nope.
It just
It started off.
It was Sam Raimi.
Yeah, it started off good just because that was the Spider-Man movie that we had, but
I loved the first.
it's PS1 graphics. At the
it-
time,
well, yeah,
you're like,
it-
this looks amazing, and you go back now and you're like, why is that fat guy Spider-Man?
watching
Sorry.
the first
40-year-old
movie,
teenager. Yeah.
watching the first movie for the first time, like I was and granted this was it came out 2003 or so.
No,
2000.
it was right around 9/11 because they had
No, yeah, I guess
changed quite a bit.
2001 or
yeah,
so.
it was 2000, 2001.
So I'm
Yeah, go ahead.
11 or
Timmy.
12 at that time. Whenever he got bit and he had like the little pus things of like webbing and stuff, he didn't
Yeah.
have his web shooters. As a kid, I was like, "Fuck, what? No, that's."
Yeah. I was
No, he
upset about that
needs
too.
he needs his web shooters. Like he
Yeah.
develops his own like webbing. Like what is this? And so
So this
that
was
like
on the heels of the Spider-Man show when X-Men was still around.
that
the
that
animated
miffed
show.
me a little bit there, but I still I tolerated it. I was like, well, you know, it is Spider-Man. It was kind of cool and everything. And then seeing the second one, I was like, yeah. And then going back and seeing the first one, I was like, I can't stand this. And then the third one came out and it just killed the entire franchise.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel bad for Andrew Garfield. I thought he was a great Peter Parker.
Yep.
I just think, again, direction just killed it. I think that's on Sony. Like,
And with
I thought
that,
we were off to the racetracks with Amazing Spider-Man.
it's hard to do a superhero movie because you don't play one role. You play two. You play Peter Parker, who has this whole mannerism this way, and then you play Spider-Man, who acts this way as well. Just like Bruce and Batman.
Yeah.
Like, you have to play two identities at once, so... I mean, it's definitely gotten a lot better. Like, it's, you know... We have the Spider-Man trilogy, we have Fantastic Four, and people are like, that sucks. So when somebody gets the role, it's like, okay, we can't do that again. Like, I have to be better than this. Like, you have the Dark Knight trilogy that really sparked it with people, you know, I think that Heath Ledger debate, I can't remember one worse before Keaton. Like, it was like, Keaton's gonna be Batman? Oh, like, burn everything. Like, this is stupid.
Everyone was furious.
And
about
you know, and then Heath Ledger, and I'm not gonna lie, I was a little skeptic on it because like the big thing that I knew he had like a Knight's Tale, but the big thing that I watched him in was Lords of Dogtown, and I was just like,
yeah,
gay cowboy and stoner skateboarder dude is Joker.
yeah.
Like
Dude,
and
ever since John Leguizamo played clown, I thought anybody could play anybody.
yeah.
Like that just kind of sold me. But
Yeah.
Anyway, another movie we're excited for before we go down the whole rabbit hole of the dark ages of comic book movies and everything.
which would make a good topic for a podcast.
I was gonna say that'd be a great episode. Just talking about all the crap that has been dished out. Because we could talk about the direct to HBO like Captain America movie
Oh,
way back
God.
Yeah.
Something that me and Chris are, and there are others excited for it as well, but I think me and Chris, once we found this out about each other, it sparked a super happiness, is It. I can remember being just a wee little...
outside for a little bit.
wee little lad on VHS because my mom was a Stephen King fan, and so we had the VHS miniseries of It. So, you know, after school, I'd be like, all right, I'm gonna watch this. Like, oh, weekend, all right, let's just pop VHS 1, 2, 1, 2, like just repeat, like back and forth, and having to stop, rewind it, watch it again. Like that and The Stand, I just watched it just a bunch.
Yeah.
And I mean, I love Tim Curry as Pennywise, and I really didn't know how I was going to feel about Bill Skarsgård or whoever this guy is being Pennywise now, but seeing that first trailer and it's got this eerie feel to it, and then Pennywise just pops up and he's just booking it with one of the kids or something like that. It just made me go, damn. Like, yes, I need this movie right now. And then we were... Was it Sunday?
It was Sunday.
It was Sunday that we were just we were messing around.
Working on some other stuff, which we'll talk about soon.
Yes. That I was just on my phone on Facebook or whatever, and like the Channel Awesome thing. The Nostalgia Critic posted up a thing that it had a number 2 trailer, and then you immediately like. People were watching something on YouTube on your TV. You just took the controller. It was like, nope, controller. Like, this is like, everybody shut up. Turn the volume up. Like, we're watching this right now. And the second
was that
trailer.
The first time you had seen it?
That was the first time that they just showed off the trailer.
No, I can vouch for that. Like, we were all kind of hanging out and doing some fellowship and of the rings and just kind of like hanging out and having some laughs. And Chris came running in like. Like Max on, Always Sunny. Big news! And we had to shut down everything and watch this new It trailer.
Yeah, you did.
And that second trailer was...
Oh, it was amazing.
Just so amazing that, we see the kids actually kind of talk with each other and everything like that. Yeah. We see Richie be his little smart-ass, like, comedian, like, doesn't know when to shut up. Beep, Richie, like... Beep, Richie. And then we see Stan, I want to say, is probably who the little kid is with the, like, the combed hair, because the other one had the curly hair, and I figured that was Eddie, and he's just like Stan's being Stan. He's like, oh man, this is sewage, this is gray water, this is poop and pee and all this other stuff. Like, this is just disgusting. Like, no, I think this is yeah. There's poison ivy here. I'm getting itchy and everything like that. He's completely not wanting to do this at all, and Bill's already like halfway into the tunnel, like finding stuff and. A balloon just floats by and then just pops, and that music that they have, that like that. Oh my gosh,
it's so good. Yeah. September 8th is when it comes out, which is also the same day as Destiny 2's launch.
So we will be doing the midnight launch for Destiny 2, picking that game up. Hopefully at like 11, like with some of the early launches, maybe 9 o'clock, like Injustice 2 is.
Oh, if they do 9
that
o'clock,
would be,
we can still
I would say that would be the perfect thing, because we could grab our game, get it installed on the Xbox, and then just go wait at the theater, and then as soon as they start seating, just go.
Yeah.
Because that is probably, I mean... I love Justice League, but it is just like right there with Justice League. Those are the only 2 movies that if that's all I saw this year, I'd be okay.
How's about we go see it in the middle of the day, and not in the middle of the night?
Nope, middle of the night.
No, that's fine. We'll go see it again. Trust me, this is a movie. Unless it just ends up being awful. And by the way, this is part 1. It's going to be a 2-part movie. It looks like the first one's going to be just when they were kids.
Just like the VHS was you had part 1 that was the kids' point of view and everything when they fought it in the clown form, and then it came back roughly 27, 30 years, whatever you want to...
26 years, isn't it?
27.
It's 27, and then in the miniseries, they just said like 30 years. Like every 30 years it comes back. So
I thought it was a hard 27, though. Like, he made it a point...
I believe so.
I think in the book, it's 27.
Because it is. Releasing in 2017, it will be 27
years
since the original.
Oh, that's really clever.
Makes me feel older than dirt. Just so old.
But and then we were thinking about that. Like, if this does well enough, like surely they'll continue with part 2, which we just found out like a couple weeks ago that Bill from the miniseries died at some point or whatever.
Yeah, he died. He committed suicide when he was a kid. Like he didn't live much longer past that.
He didn't 17.
I mean, he didn't live much longer past the miniseries. Sorry.
No, just the
he
didn't live much longer past the suicide. Sorry.
Maybe 20 something or whatever. Like he wasn't as old as us at all or anything.
Yeah.
But I mean, we still have Seth Green. That was Richie. Yeah. So if he comes back as part 2 to be Richie, that would just be perfect. Like if they could get as much as the original cast that were the kids in the original series to play the adults, that would be fantastic.
I would be all about that.
And then when we found out about Bill, it turns out that I can't remember her name in Supernatural or whatever. but she's like the hardcore like super fan that marries Sam at some point and like dates the Chuck, the like whatever the.
Chuck was the he was the writer of the supernatural books. He ended up being,
but he was like the Word of God, or he was like a scribe or whatever. So like she like is into him and everything. That was Beverly as a kid in the miniseries and everything, and like just going off and like finding out that it's 27 years since the miniseries showed up and everything like that just made it just so much better.
Fun fact. In Stephen King's 1963, which is the story about time travel and stopping the Kennedy assassination, doesn't do it in the miniseries, but in the book, when he goes back in time, he goes to Derry, which is where it takes place. And he actually meets Beverly and Richie. They're like dancing. And you don't see Pennywise, but he's walking past like the smokestack that has fallen, and he like feels him. Mm-hmm. So, and I'll be honest, it had been a long time since I had seen it or I had read it, so I wasn't 100% sure when I when I read 1963 or 11/22/63 is the name of it. It like took me a minute to like realize who it was.
Yeah.
And it was kind of cool to see them like show up and him interact with them, and I think he teaches them how to like Lindy Hop or something a little bit. And it was pretty cool.
Speaking of interaction and intertwining together, there's another movie that.
Can I say something real quick? I'm sorry.
Oh God,
I guess.
Fine.
One thing is, I think this movie has already done well, and it doesn't even come out yet. It is everywhere.
It
and
broke,
not even like promotional stuff. Like everybody is.
It broke the views in the first 24 hours, which is funny because
what held it before?
The Fast and Furious 6 or 7 or something. Had like 1.2 billion or something something like that, and Pennywise like demolished that record.
It's huge.
And it's funny because I think I showed you guys that I'd like when I saw that on Facebook that like we have a new record for the most viewed trailers.
Yeah. Someone got upset.
Somebody got upset because I guess somebody's a diehard Fast and Furious fan, because me just like tagging Chris in it, going like, oh look at this, like Pennywise is like that's a movie. Whereas, the Fast and Furious are still movies or whatever, but it's just a full-blown action movie. Like, it's not there to... It's not there for story, really. It's there for the action, which is still cool because, The Rock's in it and that's cool and everything, but...
Do you smell what he's cooking?
Chicken?
Spaghetti.
Oh. No, I guess I smell the spaghetti there. But I made a comment that, nobody cares about cars or anything like that. Not,
Not bashing on it.
Yeah, not bashing on it, but just being like, oh, hey, because it's the internet, somebody gets butthurt and they're like, you must not even drive a car, like, or you have some crappy car. Do you even have your license yet? Like, and it's like, lady, you're being overly sensitive, but if I need to break it down to you even more, then I can. And sure enough, whenever I broke it down, they didn't want to reply at all. So it was pretty funny that I was just like, hey, look at that. Nobody cares about a Cars movie, but when we get a clown movie, then it starts going.
Well, I really liked the original It. Like, I was a fan of it. For Tim Curry. Of It. And but for Tim Curry, like even as a little kid, I've always been like kind of drawn to Tim Curry since Legend.
Yeah.
Like, so really kind of showing my age there. But I mean,
Sorry,
like,
buddy.
yeah. But I mean, like, Home Alone 2, that was on repeat, and he was my favorite character.
I totally forgot he was in Home Alone 2. That's embarrassing. I'm so sorry.
Oh, he was the concierge or whatever. Like he was. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It took me a second. I was like, wait. I was like, oh, that was the hotel. Oh crap. Yep.
You know,
he was
the best
in that.
thing he ever did was the episode of Psych he was in.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know why? Because that got the awesome Tears for Fears, Michael Jackson crossover.
Yeah, it did.
And I'll still hear either of those songs and sing the other one at the same time.
Yeah. But I mean, like when he was in It, when he's like just at the house, and the whole laughter, whoa, that made that movie palatable to me. Because I was like, okay, it's just Evil Dead. Like, it's just a campy, and I'm a diehard, like, Evil Dead. I haven't found my mic that will, except for, Sonya, that I can go on and on and on about the Evil Dead franchise. But, yeah, there's that, and, I was a big Spawn fan for a while, and there's some obvious ties to... There's some obvious ties to It. Thank you very much.
Are there, though?
Yes, Clown was pretty much
Was he though?
Yes, he was.
I mean,
I don't know about that.
that'd be like saying there's some obvious ties between McDonald's and it. All right, just because there's a clown involved doesn't mean let's not drag the good name of Stephen King through the mud.
Because clown wasn't his original form.
Well, I know.
His
Vindicator,
original
or,
form.
not
Vindicator? What do you know? Violator, baby.
Violator, thank you.
Come on.
Yeah.
That was his original form.
Yeah.
You know, and a lot of people don't know that it is not just a clown.
No, in the book, he's much more than what he is
Yeah.
in the movie. Like,
Yeah.
He takes a lot of forms. Because in the miniseries, the old one, I think it was the clown, the werewolf,
Mm-hmm.
and
I don't know why I'm agreeing with you. I have no clue. The balloon. He was a balloon once, a red one.
well, he just has
The mummy. The leper
It's a
thing.
mummy.
What Stan was doing the bird call thing.
Yeah.
It was a mummy or I say mummy or whatever, but it was technically like the leper or something or whatever.
Yeah.
And then like the grandma lady person thing. Whenever they were adults and Beverly went back to the old house.
Yeah, I guess that. So he's like a shapeshifter, but
But no, you wouldn't have gotten Clown, which is a very iconic villain, whether you want to admit it or not.
is he though?
Yeah, and he's the
I mean-
bastard child of it. Thank you very much.
iconic is. We're being awfully generous tonight. That's nice.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm sure Aaron's
That's what
happy right now.
That's what I get for saying something nice about it.
Well, I mean,
Like I know what I'm talking
it's fantastic. Clown is just a character from the '90s.
about. That's weird because Tim Curry played one of those. Named it.
Yeah, named Pennywise, and it's great. Anyways,
I like
Spawn's
Nickel Dunn.
fine. I like Spawn's all right.
And it spawned a cool punk rock band. Thank you very much.
Well, good to know. Yes, August, we hear you.
Oh, no, I'm just,
Oh, were you just like, Pennywise?
we're just getting long in the tooth.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are. So, the tie-in from Pennywise and It to
Is-
Chris's favorite of probably all-time movie that
I'm a little sad because I don't know like what to make my favorite movie this year is, because Justice League should be an obvious number one. It should be pushing at it, but this is a movie I've waited for my entire life, and we're finally getting a Dark Tower movie. And we have not had the pleasure of doing a podcast on Stephen King in general or just a Dark Tower podcast, but I promise you it is coming soon, and you will hear my voice a lot because that is my soapbox. The only thing that I can get on a higher soapbox is with Batman, but Dark Tower is my thing. It is obviously it's a takeoff from the book. If you've never read the books, then just look at this as a great movie.
Oh yeah, knowing nothing really about the book. I honestly, it wasn't until that trailer that we watched the other night, the second trailer, that you were like, yeah, and see, here is the Pennywise thing.
Yeah, there's a Pennywise sign and the Overlook
here's
Hotel.
the Overlook Hotel,
Yeah.
and here's Flag.
Yeah, Randall Flagg.
Randall Flagg.
Like,
And but just seeing like the gunslinger stuff, just that alone, I was just me and you have like connected on revolvers. Like
Yeah.
how like anytime we play a video game, if there's a revolver, I know what my gun is.
exactly.
You know, and there is some really cool gun work in this movie. And just not even knowing anything about it, like I really want to see this movie just based on that trailer.
I could not be more excited. And I know that there have been some issues with the casting choice of who's playing Roland, who's the gunslinger. In the books, he was pretty much written as Clint Eastwood.
yeah.
He's played by Idris Elba. But I got to be honest, I was more concerned about the guns. The guns are so important to this entire story that if they got those wrong, then I would have been upset. They got them right. The reloading,
Good Lord.
it was beautiful. Like, just the way, like, when he's rolling the cylinder across
And
his
just dumps them all
belt,
out.
and just
Yeah.
da-da-da. And then the one where you just see his hand and just, like, those bolts come out of nowhere and he's
Yeah.
just
And
reloading.
it wasn't until like the second or third time that I saw that trailer that, and you mentioned it to me that as he's rolling it across his belt, that he's actually taking his thumb
Yeah,
and
and
popping them
popping
in.
them in
Yeah,
there.
I
yeah.
thought like he just rolled it there and just kind of like scooped him in there. I was like, holy crap! And then you're like, no,
No,
if
and
you
then
look there, you can see his thumb like
Yeah.
just. Dit.
And it shows him like throw all these bullets up and like run the gun against a fence just to get it rolling.
Yeah.
And then he just like flicks them all in there,
Yeah.
and you just see them all rapid fire. Oh my god!
Yeah,
like,
catching the cylinders out of the air.
Yeah.
Just reloading and going.
Good lord, that was bad.
Yeah.
And like that shot he makes that it like
when
goes
he's-
through everything.
Yeah, when he's
And he
like
goes through the
quiet.
lizard guy. Yeah.
The Gunslinger Code, Chris.
Yeah, the Creed. Look, I'll save it for the Stephen King Dark Tower
Oh, is that
podcast.
Is
There's
that
a
his
Creed.
Green Lantern Creed? Yeah.
Pretty much so. Yeah.
Okay.
And don't worry, I'll repeat it. But for the sake of time, we've kept you guys quiet a while. I'll just say these 2 little bullet points for it. The Dark Tower is Stephen King's magnum opus. It ties everything together. Every other story that he has written ties back to the Dark Tower in one way or another. Some are huge, some are tiny little things. So I'm really curious to see how they tie it together, how much they show that into it. It'll be fantastic. And 2, it's a pretty big universe. Just the Dark Tower by itself, not including everything that ties into it. If this does well, this will be this generation's Lord of the Rings, in my opinion. It's going to have multiple movies, and there's so much that they could add to it. And there's something about it, and I cannot say what it is, but the thing that people are upset about is how it doesn't follow the books page for page, which, if I wanted it page for page, I'd just read the books. I'm okay with there being a little deviation, but I swear to you, if you've read the books, you know what I'm talking about. If not, just trust me on this. There's something about it that makes it all okay. There is a reason why I'm not upset about it. And this is something I feel very passionate about, is Dark Tower. If I'm not upset, you shouldn't be upset. So, there you go. Those are our movies, and that's out August, by the way.
I would say, yeah, that comes out August, and it being a tie-in to, like we see in the Pennywise thing.
Yeah.
I really hope that we get to see Pennywise, like, as a little cameo there, like, finding his way into our world realm or whatever, and, like, being at Derry. So, like, that would make the whole movie for me, not knowing too much about the Dark Tower, but if it actually tied into it, that comes out the next month, that would just be... I would die right there. All the blood would just rush out of my head to other places in my body, and I would just...
Look,
that would be it.
It's all 19. That's all that matters. It's all 19. So, guys, these are some movies. I know, it doesn't make any sense, but someday it will. These are the movies we're looking forward to. What are you guys looking forward to? You know, drop us a comment. Tell us what we think sucks or what you think is awesome. What movies did we miss? What about our movies did we miss? Or what do you think we're crazy about? But we've kept you long enough, but there's one thing that we need to talk to you about real quick, and it's about the Court of Cowls. We have been gone for a little bit. We've not been doing the podcast as quick as we can because we've been working on some other stuff. Most importantly, we have started a YouTube page. We've got 3 or 4 videos up right now. Most of them so far are unboxings or unbaggings in the case of Legos. Just little things, you know, kind of showing off what we love.
Yeah, and getting the ball rolling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we want to start bringing you more content. And we are currently working on a new show called Under the Cowl. I'm not going to give you too much about it right now. We're hoping to film the first episode very soon. Hopefully.
I would say hopefully would be a very wonderful episode.
I'm hoping so.
Everything's coming together for Under the Cowl. Like the script, we finished it yesterday. Like it's dang near airtight.
Yeah.
You know, like we know what we're doing going forward. It's going to be really exciting. It's going to be a little bit of diving into characters that you need to know about going forward as far as like superheroes go. And if it picks up, we're going to go even further with it. You know, there's going to be characters that you know, down the road that I think will be covered. Like, shoot, if Beta Ray Bill ever came to the Thor universe, we're going to do it Under the Cowl on Beta Ray Bill, you know? So
we want to help get you guys up to speed on maybe some stuff that you don't know about. Some characters, some events, anything, you know. And look, if you have a suggestion, if there's something you want to see us do an Under the Cowl on, let us know. You know, we are looking for suggestions. This is fresh. This is brand new. August is the technical brains behind this entire operation. Okay, this quiet man over here is the one that makes all of this happen.
It is an Augie production.
It absolutely is.
Well,
Every video
you can't even say that, man. Like, we've had, you know, you guys have done such a good job, right?
I came up with the name. Woo!
You know, just
I want a quarter every time someone says it.
just a lot of, you know, hunting down like certain, you know, visual assets we need. You know, you guys have helped out tremendously. You know, hopefully within the next week or two, we'll be able to have this finished and out for you. So, you know, if you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel, Quarter Cowls, you know, I guess go to YouTube and search for Quarter Cowls since we don't have a custom URL yet for it.
Yeah.
But you can find it on Facebook.com/QuartofCowls.
Yes,
absolutely.
And we'll keep you up to date as to when we're close to dropping it or day of. So
trust me, it'll be around. If you're listening to this, you know how to find us. You'll be able to find this, and just believe us. This has been an absolute labor of love. I have loved every second of the research that we've done and the conversations that we have, and the lofty, crazy like dreams we have talked about. Where we hope this takes us in 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
It's just
it's the American dream to just, you know, one day do something.
Start out in the garage and multi-million-dollar company the next.
Yeah. Yeah. You start out in the garage, and you know everyone has that picture of Scrooge McDuck in their head, like.
Yeah.
Well, we do. Swimming around in the
that's who
coins.
we are.
You know?
But look, and I'm gonna get a little sappy for like 2 seconds, so I'm gonna wrap it up because I'm sure most of you have stopped listening already. I'm sitting with a group of fantastic guys. All right, these guys share my passion, and they let me go off on little tangents about stuff that I don't need to go off on. They want to bring you the best product that they can, and he can downplay it all he wants, but August is the reason that there is a YouTube channel. He's the reason there are videos up on the YouTube channel, and he is the reason that Under the Cowl will work. It'll be on his shoulders. May not be his voice that you hear, but he'll be the one pulling the strings. So I'm very happy to have these guys.
Wow, that's a lot of pressure.
Oh, dude, look.
No.
Where it goes is where it goes. It's a little bit of all of us, but
If our dreams fail, it's Augie's fault.
Yeah.
Understood.
Every time.
I was going to blame him anyway, so that's just life. But and Matt, don't forget Matt.
Yeah,
he's not here tonight.
Matt is a huge.
So
part
all the
of it.
blame.
Yeah,
on him.
We just kind of threw this together very quickly, and we didn't give him time to make arrangements to come over here because we're jerks that way. But you know, we all live very busy lives, and we really try to carve out time to do this and bring this to you guys and continue to grow. Court of Cowls is just something to give you guys knowledge. That's what it's all about, and we want to be that place that you come to learn what you need to learn, or to just hear us talk about random crap that nobody cares about. Let us be that background noise that gets you through the day.
Yeah.
So
well, and you know, I want to say I've been actually for our new unboxing videos. In terms of YouTube, our views aren't huge yet, but you know they're growing, and I'm actually really happy with kind of the support. You know, some of you new listeners. You know, because I'm pretty sure we've gotten some new listeners just off the Lego unboxing.
I would say we had Chris's video, the super cool Lego video, has like 300 some views, and it's been out for like 2 weeks or something.
And you know, from looking at the analytics, some of our older podcasts have like the views have shot up. You know, just from probably, I'm gonna assume a lot of people came over from just the suggested viewings.
Yeah.
Chris, you're internet famous now.
Well, I wouldn't say that yet, but we're getting
You all would be dead without me.
we're getting there.
look,
So.
300 people have watched me open a pack of Legos, and that blows my mind. And
That's insane to like. If it was 75, I'd be like, "Holy crap!"
yeah,
You know, when my crappy Pokemon unboxing, where I can't open packs or forget the names of Pokemon, has 150 now plus.
Yeah.
You know, that like was just something that I'm like, I did not expect this to happen. Like our second major video up, right? You know, I was expecting that to stay in the low teens.
Yeah.
so, and
You just never know. And I mean, like, to quote Kevin Smith, who is quoting Wayne Gretzky in this, is, you miss 100% of the shots you never take.
that's deep, bro.
And I mean, we're taking a big shot. You know, we're you know we care about this stuff as fans working outward. That we want to give everyone our knowledge, so we're not just screaming at each other about how cool stuff is. We understand.
We'll scream at you guys about how
yeah,
cool
we'll,
stuff
yeah,
is.
we'll scream at you guys. And I mean, there's something I've said throughout the creation of Under the Cow is we've all the people that are kind of our fan base, like our true blue fan base, have driven to their specific superhero movie that they're really excited about. They know like the back of their hand, and had someone in the car with them, boyfriend, girlfriend, mom, dad, aunt, uncle, son, daughter, that has been asking questions. Who's that? Who's the guy on the screen? There's some name drops in Guardian of the Galaxy that that if you know the name, like we were talking about earlier, if you know the name, then you're like, whoa. But if you don't know the name, you're looking over at your comic book nerd of a friend and saying, hey, who is that?
Mm-hmm.
And so we know there's a desire for this, and we want to share this. And the overall point isn't really to get famous. Honestly, to me, the overall point is just so if I can say, isn't that cool? And you go, what is this? That's really cool. And me just be like, I know, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like when I watched the Dark Tower trailer, I was like, this is Dark Tower? That's amazing. That's all we want.
Yeah.
We want people to be like-minded.
Yeah. We will do the research so you don't have to dig through 40 years of comic knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
We'll do that for you. We'll break it down into nice bite-sized pieces.
Yeah.
So.
But if you ever feel like getting into that knowledge, there's this really cool comic store you could go to.
Is there?
Yes, there is.
Mike, do you know what he's talking about? I have no idea.
It's called Vintage Stock.
Shots fired. That is where I go if I go, oh crap, I didn't pick one up, or oh, maybe they have a variant cover because I don't really subscribe to variant covers, but when there's a sweet Nightwing comic that has a tie-in from their Batman and Robin thing, and it's like, oh crap, that's a thing. Oh boy, I wish I would have gotten that one.
And you say to yourself, oh man, I really would like to pay a lot more for this play.
Yeah,
that's for sure. Then I will go to Vintage Stock and get a comic. But
well, that's probably a sponsor we'll never get now.
Well, who needs that sponsor? Because we have the only sponsor that matters. Not even really a sponsor. They don't sponsor us. We do this because we love them. It's impulsecreations.net.
Yep. They're good people.
They are.
Very friendly. Give them a look-see. Man, if you need comics, they're going to give you 30% off cover price. They're going to save you money on all your trades, and they're going to take great care of you. So go take care of them. But we've kept you on here long enough. Thank you for listening to this entire podcast. Thank you for all the support. Go check us out. Facebook.com/CourtOfCowls, YouTube.com/CourtOfCowls, SoundCloud.com/CourtOfCowls, or just stop by my house and talk to us. So, but as always, long-winded as ever. This is Chris.
Cody.
August.
Mike.
And court is adjourned. It is adjourned.
Mm-hmm. Keep the red phone ringing.
Boom.